With the Mavic Air 2 on the horizon, we each discussed our wish list for what we'd like to see on the Mavic Air 2. Got that coming up next. Hey everyone, Bill from BillTheDroneReviewer, where I make drone and drone related videos. If you're new here, welcome, and consider hitting the subscribe button so you don't miss any future content. With that, let's begin. The other night on Rotor Talk Live, Marcus Crawford, Ron Braun, Lauren Donauer, and I discussed our wish list for the DJI Mavic Air 2. Among things that we discussed were the feature set, the prices, and whether or not we would purchase this. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and roll that clip in its entirety. We're going to switch gears. We're going to talk about, it's from all that we're hearing, it sounds like probably, April or May, we're going to see a Mavic Air 2. Now, what we're going to talk about tonight, and I kind of like this because we're going to talk about our wish list, okay? What we want to see on the Mavic 2. And, when you include in your wish list here, we're going to go around to everybody. On
Mavic Air 2, Bill.
Yes, Mavic Air 2.
You left the air out. I want to confuse the audience.
Thank you. Mavic Air 2. Include price in your wish list. I think that's important. And, be specific as to, you want, that includes a Fly More combo with the 2 extra batteries and a case and whatever. So, Ron, I'm going to let you start off on this.
Thank you, Bill. Just a couple quick show notes before I get into that. I want to thank Chris Hope for providing us the link for Rodney Bell's GoFundMe. So it's in the chat. It's back a little ways, but Bill did drop in the chat for us. So thanks for working with us on that, Chris Hope. And I also want to promote my my buddy Philly Mike here. That's Philly Drone Life. He's in the house with us. And he plans on doing a little impromptu live show after we're done. So if you want to go over to Philly Drone Life and jump on his live show, please go over there when this show's over. But to answer Bill's question, yeah, the Mavic Air 2, which Lauren thinks will be out in we think April or May. Yeah, I'm not an owner of the Mavic Air 1. A lot of people in the show had the Mavic Air 1s. I've never really had my hands on one. I mean, I've seen them, but I've never flown them. And Bill's about features. I mean, the big sticking point I've seen in all the reviews of the Mavic Air 1 was the noisy propellers. So I'm sure that'll be addressed and fixed. The number 2 issue was I don't know what the number 2 issue. Everybody talked over and over about the noisy propellers. I think
Wi-Fi
was kind of short on the Mavic Air 2. I don't think it even got 20 minutes in the air. I don't know what the stated figure was, but I think in reality it got under 20 minutes of flight time, and also the range. It was a Wi-Fi based drone that didn't have a protocol like an OcuSync or anything. So people were concerned with the range of it, but it has a lot of positive too. 4K 60, small size, flew real well. Had a lot of great camera features in it going for it. So yeah, I guess I would, to answer Bill's question, I'd like to see quad or plus, which I know we're going to get. I would like to see maybe 5 minutes more battery life at least, and I guess a little bit of range. And I'm not so concerned about the range, but just strong FPV connection within the range that it does get. And it's probably not the drone for me because I had the Mavic 2 Pro. And if this drone's anywhere around the $999,000 ballpark, it's probably like too much for me that has somebody like the Mavic 2 Pro. But if you don't have a drone at all, like if you don't have a higher Mavic 2 series, then it may be the drone for you. For me, it would have to be $899 or less for me to even come on my radar. Lauren, what do you think?
Well, one big complaint that you kind of missed on that one was a lot of people complained about camera angles.
Do tell.
If you get into kind of high speed stuff, it had a limited range of up angle. So basically it was limited to 15 degrees. So in sport mode, you'd be looking at the ground much more than you were straight ahead. Now my wish list is basically been fulfilled because of the info that I've received. Pretty much everything that I've wanted them to fix. Sounds like it's going to be fixed, which does include pretty much everything you've said, Ron. Increased battery life, new motors, new ESCs. Probably expect about a battery life between 23 and 27 minutes instead of the 15. Better camera angles, increased range for your transmission, and I'm forgetting one thing, but I can't remember what it is now. But yeah, there is most of the issues that have been come across have been resolved, and I won't say all of them, but I had a good detailed list of everything rumored to be fixed, and it seems like they've made just drastic improvements on it.
So what I'm going to say is that you always hear people in real estate say that the most important thing is the three most important things are location, location, location. I'm going to say with the Mavic Air 2, the three most important things are price, price, and price. If it's priced correctly, and I'm quite sure, Lauren, we know DJI, and they do pay attention, and they know the shortcomings, the things that people have complained about. So they absolutely are going to correct those things. If that drone can come in at $700 or $800, it will be a runaway hit, an absolute runaway hit.
What I'm hearing, and we're talking Canadian dollars here, but what I'm hearing is between $1,100 and $1,200, and Canadian, okay. And who the heck made the comment about the obstacle avoidance?
Mike Kinney, about obstacle avoidance.
That was one of the other things, was the 360 obstacle avoidance, and of course ADSB.
Oh,
that's huge.
Yeah.
Well, for me, obviously, and I'm just not going in any particular order. Number one, new ESCs and new props. That's a given. I think that's one of the things. I think everybody. I mean, when you had that, my whole thing was, when I first heard it, I said, "Where are the wasps?" Okay, it sounded like a wasp. I knocked a wasp nest down and they're loose. Number two for me is I want to see a better communication system, and what that communication system is, I don't know. If it's a truly enhanced Wi-Fi that's not going to cause interference, because I know Marcus didn't have an issue with it. I didn't have an issue with it, and I flew in a heavy urban area. Okay, there's a lot of houses here. There's a lot of signal coming out. And I never had any issue with it, but I know a lot of people did. So I hope this is one thing that DJI has addressed. I think the increased flight time, I think that's a must as well. The 360 obstacle avoidance, I think that's a must. And I'm also thinking too that as far as the camera design, the assembly up front, I think most of that was pretty good. But I know, especially, and I did watch a lot of, I watch a lot of other drone reviewers' videos. I watch a lot of Billy Kyle. Hi, Billy, if you're watching. Okay. And, one of the things, when he would take the Mavic Air and put it in sport mode, when he would do it, the Mavic Air had this tendency to kind of like dip. Okay. Kind of like do one of these as you're flying along, which is okay, but the camera doesn't compensate for it. It's like that gimbal's still, and you got to try to do it, but it's when it was in sport mode, it just didn't
Bill,
go.
That's the 15 degrees that I was talking about.
Yeah. Okay.
The camera dips down because there's not enough range of motion.
Okay.
And that's one of the things that's been fixed.
That's awesome.
Also, Doug reminded me that the other thing was the lower noise.
Yeah, the lower noise. So,
yeah.
and I'll go with Marcus. I like you said, realtors always say location, location, location. I'm going to say price, 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 and the same thing. This thing, US, has got to be under $1,000. Okay, there's no questions asked, because you're looking at, probably you spend another couple $100, you can get probably a Mavic 2 Zoom refurbished. You're not that far away from a Mavic 2 as well, Pro. So, it really kind of lends itself. And I think it's a perfect size drone. One of the things that I really liked about the Mavic Air was the size of the Mavic Air. Okay. It really seemed perfect. The Mini, I love the Mini, don't get me wrong, but I think it just seems too small to me. All right. And the Mavic 2 Pro, it's fantastic. It's great. But, is that the kind of drone that I can put in my carry-on and take with me if I'm going somewhere for the weekend? Probably not. It probably needs its own bag. But with the Mavic Air, the Mavic Air 2, that would be that kind of drone. Okay, that would fit in there very nicely, and it's kind of, and I'll call it beefy if you want to use that word, substantial. Okay, I think that's important.
Bill, can we what you're talking about here? Can I ask Lauren from sort of a retailer standpoint, what type of customer looks for the Mavic Air drone versus the other selections in the DJI line? Is there a typical customer that comes in interested in that type of drone?
Oh, was that for me?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, actually, that's the people kind of want the high end, but don't want the high dollar. You know what I mean?
Okay.
It's very capable. Very capable in the camera, but they're willing to put up with a little bit less than say moving to something like the upper end Mavic series. There's lots of good, and especially if everything comes true that they're supposed to be doing on it, it's going to be great. And it's the stepping stone between the Mavic Mini and then going to either the Zoom or the Pro, and the price is going to be kind of right in the middle.
Hey, Lauren, so have they said anything weight-wise? Because one of the things that I thought about with the next Air is it would be really cool, not 249 grams like the Mini, but if it was a really light, compact little drone like that. One of the coolest things about the Mini is how easy it is to carry around. It's such a small little package. You think they're going to make it more compact?
Nope, okay. Absolutely not. If you want the technology of having things like obstacle avoidance and stuff, have you actually seen the physical size of an Air? It's not much bigger than a Mini.
Oh, yeah, I used to have one. I used to fly one.
Yeah. It's really, when it's folded up, it's not really that much bigger than a Mini.
Yeah.
But when you look at the weight, there's no way to make it any smaller, because if you've looked at the inside of one, there's no room.
I'm just saying that this little package right here is so freaking easy to carry around. It's awesome.
It is, isn't it? Yeah,
it is.
And a little shout out to a couple of my homeboys that are here, Lonnie and Douglas. Hey, buddies.
Hey, welcome. Thanks for joining us tonight. And I think this is a good thing. Okay, we had this discussion because this is just we're just having some fun here with this. All right, and I think you get to see, and I think also too, it helps build some enthusiasm for the product when this product does finally hit the shelves. And I think this is going to fill a void. Okay, because you don't really have that sub $1,000 drone from DJI, that really does the 4K like this. Okay. And that is, and there's a lot to be said for that. Okay. The Spark obviously is the late great Spark is no longer with us, as we want to say, may it rest in peace. But, the Mavic Air is alive. It's healthy. It's a fun drone to fly. I found it to be very responsive. I really liked its maneuverability. I had zero problems with it, and it would be a drone that I would definitely recommend. And am I considering, and this is the last question I'm going to ask all you guys before we do closing thoughts. Is this a drone that you would consider purchasing for me? If it's under $1,000, absolutely. I'm hitting the buy button. Ron.
Go, Marcus, you want to jump in? You go right ahead, sir.
Mine's easy. Yes.
Okay. We'll go counterclockwise. When you're done, Marcus, throw it to Lauren.
Lauren, go.
Okay, absolutely. And my name's already written on the check.
There you go. Bill, before I give you my answer, did you see what's going in the chat? A lot of people in the chat, rather than a Mavic Air 2, they want a Mini Pro.
A Mini Pro.
Ain't gonna happen.
And I would get the Mini Pro first. But to answer Bill's question, at $999, the Mavic Air, if it's the specs that we speculate on tonight, it's a no for me. But I also want to throw in real quick. This will be a story we're going to save maybe for next week on ZinoNation and Bill the Drone Reviewer show. But Bill, we have to talk about the news that came out about the our favorite Skydio 2 drone today. Supposedly they filed with whoever they filed to use a different bandwidth signal, and there'll be an update called for the Skydio 2, like a firm update coming out. Well, they're going to get increased range by using these different transmission technique. Have you guys seen this? I know we don't have time to get into it, but I just wanted to throw it out there, kind of a sneak peek, so we could do our homework for our shows next week.
One of the downsides they're saying, though, Ron, is that the FPV will not be as high fidelity because of the bandwidth they're going to use. But it will have greater range.
Yeah, again, we don't have time to get into it now, but we will. This is a sneak preview. If you want all the information on this, you come back next week on both our shows, and we will take a deep dive. Bill, is that a deal?
That's a deal. You got that for sure, 100%.
So I've said too much, but my answer is, it's going to take a lot for me to buy the Mavic Air 2. It's going to have to be a showstopper that we don't know about.
Question of the day. What is your wish list for the DJI Mavic Air 2? Let me know in the comments section below. Thanks so much for watching, and remember, it's a great day to fly.
Yeah.